Winter has arrived in full force to northern Sweden. So we have just made a fire here in the cabin to keep us warm. Because today we're sitting down to answering your most thoughtful, personal, unexpected and uncomfortable questions that you've sent in to us. We're answering questions like, are we having more kids after such a tough birth? Why aren't we married yet? Is cabin life even what we hoped for? Our favorite Swedish and Danish traditions? What's it like raising a child in the wilderness? Can homeschooling even work here? How has our relationship changed after having a child? And how do we handle winter's constant darkness? So, the very first question is...
We shouldn't do an intro.
I just told you. I've already recorded the intro. That is done. They have just seen it. And... Okay.
I'm so tired. You have to speak to me in more clear.
Okay.
Clearness.
First question. I wonder if after Christine's difficult birth experience, are you still considering expanding your family in the future?
That's the funny part of me that... You know, if I feel something has been difficult, or if I am like, see, okay, that's something I can maybe work on there. So I already thought about who I'm gonna contact, what I'm gonna do to limit my fear for the next birth. So work on my fear. So yeah, if I could choose, we never know with life. But if I could choose, I would love more small feet running around.
Yeah, and that also says a lot how much of a kid can affect you, I guess. Because it was a very, very big and traumatic thing we went through at the hospital, especially you. But I just mean how much, quite quickly after we came home. You're like, oh, I can't wait for, we have 2 kids and 3 kids. I was like, we just got home from the hospital with number 1. So
yeah. I just feel so much in alignment of being a mother. So I could easily see us having more kids. But again, you never know. You don't know if you can get more. You don't know if...
But if we can choose, yes, we would like more kids.
But it's not gonna be now, that's for sure, because he needs a fair chance to get what he needs of attention. And also, I'm very much, as a hormone therapist, I believe that we should take time to prepare our body to have enough nourishment, nourish our body enough to have a healthy pregnancy. Like you do when you make the dirt or the ground ready for a new seed. You always,
you prepare
after
it.
a season, you prepare it for a new season.
That's a good metaphor. Now, the most asked question is, why don't you get married? Or will you get married? Or in your country, do you feel any pressure to marry? No, we don't feel any pressure from the country. We feel pressure from you guys. Yeah. This is easily the most asked question I think we always get.
Every single time.
Yeah. And I don't understand why it's such an important thing to other people. That's what still fascinates me.
Yeah.
Why does that matter to people?
Yeah.
You're allowed to ask it, absolutely, but I just don't understand why that matters.
Maybe you can write in the comments why is that so important that we two get married.
Yeah.
We would like to know, actually.
Yeah. Is it like a cultural thing? Is it a religious thing for some people, maybe?
Yeah. And as I said in all the other live streams, we will get married that day. Kalle will ask me to marry it.
Next question. Does life in the cabin give you what you hoped for when you decided to move there? I think what I hoped for was more control of my own time and my own environment. So yes, on that department, because I am very much where I want to be with the forest and nature around us. I always said that I made the decision of moving here to be my own boss and run my own time and so on. But now when I have a girlfriend, a baby, 2 dogs, I am the lowest on the pecking order, I feel like. No, I'm not.
That's not true.
No. But the feeling is from going to being your own boss, basically. And now you have a little
But then you should
boss.
just continue with this and be happy single in the forest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be happy. That's the thing. That I really felt like all these renovations I'm doing, if it's struggling with that or working really hard on YouTube, the reason I'm doing it is because I can enjoy the successes with you. That's the whole point. So if I didn't have anyone to share it with, it would feel kind of pointless almost. You know that quote from what's his name, from the book, Into the Wild?
Yeah.
Happiness only real when shared.
Yeah.
And I really think so. Like, I can absolutely enjoy life if I go on a hike myself, but standing on the top of the mountain looking out, just looking to the next of you, and you have your family there or a friend or something, that brings it up to another level as well, I feel like. How has the arrival of your baby changed your couple relationship? I spoke a bit about this on my last live stream, and I said that it's quite the same experience as my other friends have gone through the same thing. Like, they've felt like you get a closer bond with your partner because you have this even more of a team feeling with having him. But it has also gone from, this is from my perspective at least, gone from like you and me as a couple into more like, we've joked about it and we called it a bit like the roommate phase, where we're just more like living together as best friends and parents, of course. But what I see as a couple, like going out on dates, doing stuff just her and me, that doesn't exist.
No, that's on a break for now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's okay for me because we know that's a period of time.
Yeah.
He needs attention. You need to be mom to him. And I have to take a step back in my selfishness, I guess, because I'm my, what do you call it, love language, my strongest one is like physical touch and closeness. I don't get that so much from her because she gives all of her physical touch to him, which she should do. But I know there's a phase.
To be honest, I am not that surprised because I knew that a newborn phase is intense. And I know it's a phase because we have been so lucky that our sisters got babies before us. So I have seen my sisters' development, like from very intense newborn phase. Now when the baby is 1 year old and they can begin to be a couple again.
Yeah.
So actually I'm just like, it's a phase. Yeah, we are not that much boyfriend and girlfriend right now, but I know this is 1 year of his life where he needs so much closeness to the mom.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And right about time we're starting to get back to each other, then it's time for the next kid. So then we just start all over again. But I'm actually surprised. I remember you told me, even in the first months, because you heard it from other moms, that like when you had given all your attention to the baby all day, most moms, generally speaking, would say like when the husband comes like, oh, hi, I want to cuddle and hug and kiss, the most moms will be like, no, I can't take more. But that's not the case. You never rejected me in that sense.
No.
It's more the sense of like, I don't know how to phrase it, but I've never felt rejected in that way.
No. I missed you.
Yeah,
so
of course.
haven't felt like that.
No.
The other day where we were laying in bed and you spooned me and I had August here, me, and then you. Yeah. It was just like,
heaven.
It was so wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we don't get these moments anymore.
No, exactly. When he's asleep, we get those moments. What size is your cabin? We'd love to build something similar. The total square meters is 70 square meters, downstairs and upstairs. That's fine for space-wise, but it would be nice with a bathroom. Next one is, what are your winter holiday traditions? You're laughing immediately. Do you want to tell them what our traditions are?
And I don't know, because I feel I'm putting more and more on it every single year, don't I?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun now when you have a kid.
Exactly, that's gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm a very much of a Christmas person. I love Christmas. It's not like I have to have everything perfect or something like that.
No, but you start in October, basically, to
I do.
At least talk about it. And you started singing Christmas songs in October. So I would say so.
But I love the light. I love baking. I love, the light. I mean, like all the, how you decorate the house. It's so cozy. Yeah.
Hygge.
Christmas is about hygge, and I love it. And I feel like we're gonna have so much good traditions when he grows up. Like go out and get a Christmas tree in the forest. And
that's what I'm looking forward to. Taking my axe and my son and going out to the forest and cut a tree.
Yeah, and I love to do all kind of
baking
small cute things. Like I'm gonna be one of those buy like a little door and call the elf door.
Okay.
And then if we have to put in food to him and stuff like that, it's gonna.
And my parents always did this, specifically my dad, that he. I think it was on Christmas, was it? Yeah, every Christmas morning. In Sweden, we always get the presents in the evening or afternoon. But we got one gift in the morning that was hiding under our beds. But sometimes he took a string that was so insanely long and he walked through the whole house. So the string started at your bed. And then it walked through the hallway, out to the living room, out the window, and then around the house, in the door. And you had to follow that string. And at the end of the string was your package, basically. And it was the coziest thing ever. As a kid, just like the excitement was just like, where is it gonna go?
That's a good one.
Yeah, so stuff like that I would like to do with him as well. What would be your best advice to new parents and the first month with the baby?
As I advise in my video about his birth, read the book The 41st Day, I think that is what they call, because I would say in the beginning is very much about the mom and of course the baby, but the family taking care of the mom so the mom could take care of the baby, and it's such a big it's such important work to actually support the mom so everything can come good from the start. Yeah. Does that make sense?
And my best advice would actually be to ask for help. Don't be too proud on asking for help. We got my mom to come up she was there for 12 days or something.
Yeah.
And then right after she went, your parents came up.
For 3 weeks.
3 weeks, exactly. So thank God for our parents.
Yeah, that was an amazing help. Like cooking, and because in the beginning with a newborn, you don't do anything else than sit in the couch and breastfeed. Like I didn't even know how to brush my teeth. No. And so it is an intense time, and you need help.
Just my mom showing, your parents just cooking all the food.
Yeah.
Such relief. Going shopping, fixing everything around it. So my best advice would be to ask for help if you can. Would you consider doing a Airbnb in your A-frame a few times a year for additional income? Christine is already laughing. Okay, tell them why you're laughing.
Because I can't think of something worse than having all kind of people you don't know in your yard here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that is the worst nightmare for you.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And especially if it is the cabin or the A-frame or something like that, it feels so private and like us. Like, I have a really hard time with that. So absolutely not the Airbnb for the A-frame, but Christine and I have a long-term goal and a business idea that we would like one day to buy up or invest in cabins around here, surrounding neighborhoods, and start to renting them out and be as Airbnb hosts for those cabins, so we can not only talk about this lifestyle on our channels, but also
you can try it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, so just buy something simple, renovate it a bit, freshen it up, and then put it up for rent.
Yeah,
that's our long-term goal.
Yeah,
because I think that would be a really fun business to run with you as a family.
It would be so much fun. Yeah.
So not the A-frame and not the cabin, but another cabin maybe in the future. I'm wondering what your sleeping arrangement will be once your son gets a little older.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in our new series. Yeah, we will definitely try to co-sleep the whole family until it feels natural that he gonna move over in his own bed or something like that. But in the first many years, I think to his I don't know.
It's up to him. Yeah.
I think we're gonna co-sleep.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
And the thing we're doing in the new series, if you don't know, we have created a new series here on YouTube that we're gonna launch quite soon. We're recording it right now. And in this series, we're talking about that we're basically renovating the bedroom to become a family bedroom, not just Kalle, single dude bedroom. So we're gonna do a whole new bed situation, and yeah, so you will see more about that in the new series that's coming. What about additional rooms, like a bedroom for August or potentially other children in the future? Good question. We haven't gotten that far yet. Like, our first priority now is just getting a bathroom in here.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what's going to happen. We have plans, absolutely, but since we are aiming on co-sleeping, there is no rush whatsoever with other rooms. That's so many years away. Absolutely, time flies, but I feel like, that's nothing I'm worrying about at all right now.
I definitely feel that he should have his own space when he has the need for it. But when he doesn't have the need, because you have the A-frame.
Yeah, exactly.
To go up and get your space, and I have a whole house over there. So I think as long as he doesn't have a need for his own space, that is not a rush for us. I don't feel that.
That's a question for the future, I would say. What are your thoughts about schools in Sweden? Do you have any good schools nearby? We have no idea what kind of schools. We know there are schools around here, and we have I know where they are even, but I don't know which one we're gonna pick or which one is gonna be the best for him. And also ties into the future question here about that here. Are you planning to let August to go to a specific school, for instance, Montessori or Waldorf?
It's really pushing on a very, very sensitive spot for me, because I have always, dreamed about having my kids on a more alternative school than I was on. I was at. I don't know how you say that. Definitely Waldorf or Steiner or something like that, Waldorf Steiner. While we were in Denmark, I read a lot about unschooling.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was so extremely interesting, but we are not allowed to homeschool in Sweden. So I can feel it's such a sensitive subject, because I really want him to have a positive experience being in the school, and I want him to, I want to keep his spirit. I want to keep his curiosity, the imagination. I have such a hard time, because both you and I, you had a good school, you say, but you were not.
I didn't really fit in.
You didn't fit in.
I mean, I did fit in the group, and I had lots of friends, and that was never the problem. But I didn't fit into the box of going to school. Like, I was so I was very polite in school, I would say. So I didn't created chaos or anything. But I had several extra meetings with teachers where my parents had to come as well, where they sit down Kalle is really nice and everything, but if he just focus on his own work as much as everyone else's work, then he would be in the best in the class. Because not because I'm intelligent or anything, because I just ran around and checked what everyone else was doing. So a funny anecdote is that my math teacher, I think I was 14 or something like that. She got so sick of me running around, so they bought a specific cardboard wall that was several meters long, several meters high. If this is the classroom, basically, they put me in the corner up here, and then the wall around me. So we're just sitting with a chair and a little table, and then my math book, and then a whole wall. And then the rest of the classmates were on the other side of the wall. So I didn't really fit in that sense. But I loved the school, and I loved my friendships and everything. So I don't have a bad memory of school, but I think it's a box that not all kids fit into.
Yeah, I had bad memories of school,
yeah.
And it's more I'm very creative. I'm very curious. So I was that kind of student that asked the teacher constantly, like, why should I learn this? What are we going to use this for? And they, just throw me, out another side of the door because they were so tired of me. So school really killed my spirit, actually. So, and I don't want this to happen for him. I want school to be a positive experience. So,
Sensitive subject.
Sensitive subject.
What's something you're both looking forward to doing with your son when he gets older? I have a whole list.
I know. I don't think in those terms because I just so much enjoy the now with him.
Yeah, I do too, absolutely. But it's as a dad, I think a lot of dads can recognize this as well. That like I'm looking so much more fun, looking forward to doing all these physical activities, like taking him out fishing, going picking for mushrooms, berries. I'm very much looking forward to going to these like I don't want to call them theme parks. The one I showed you before. There's like this cowboy place in Sweden that I went to as a kid. You can what do you call it? Mine for gold. When you sit in the river and like take out the gold and then you make a medal out of that, and it's, for me, that's like peak childhood, and I want to give the same to him, because my dad was super good at taking me out to adventures and like treasure hunting and ghost hunting and stuff like that, and I want to give the same to him. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
I just enjoy now.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do too. He's so cute right now. How are the dogs handling having a new baby brother? They're laying right here, just at the fireplace. I would say they're handling it super well. Tuss, our grey dog, the oldest one, I will say that she can get a bit jealous if I'm cuddling and playing specifically a lot with him, like throwing him around and like wah, 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 doing a lot of funny noises. Then Tuss can react because I make the same noises with her, and then she want to play as well. Yeah. But they want to come up with him and lick him all over. We only allow them to lick his hands for now, because it's so much bacteria in their mouth, and it's not a good idea to put that on his face, for now at least. So, but they're handling it good, I would say.
Yeah, really good.
They're super chill. So I think it's going to be cool for him to actually grow up with 2 dogs and even more animals in the future. This is a question for you, actually. What made you choose the name August for the little one? Did you have a girl's name in mind as well? I don't know where we got it from. To you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was me that heard the name.
Okay.
And then I was like, I really love the name August. Yeah. And you were like, I love that too. Yeah. And yeah, we actually have a girl name, but we don't want to say
no,
it.
That's if we get a girl next time, then that will probably be it if it fits. Yeah. But hey. Yeah.
So it was, I knew the name and I just really love it.
Yeah. And we tried to find something else just to rule it out that we didn't find something afterwards. But we were stuck to August from a very long time ago. Yeah. Would you consider getting more dogs or any other pets?
Not more dogs.
Not more dogs.
No.
This is not... I'm happy they don't understand us right now, but having 2 huskies and the baby and gonna have more babies in the future, it is just too much. It's one thing if this was a breed. Huskies have a very strong hunting instinct. I've talked about this many times, but it's a bit tricky with them that we can't just let them loose. And we can let them loose, that's no problem. But the problem is that they run away because there's so much mooses and other animals out there. And it's quite dangerous for them to be out there because there are bears and lynx and stuff that can easily kill them. So we're gonna get more dogs when these guys have passed away one day, absolutely. But maybe not huskies, because we would like something that we can just walk in the forest and they can actually be with us all the time. But other pets, we have talked about cats. That would be nice one day to keep the mice. And I don't think we have said this anywhere online yet, but we're gonna try to have sheep next summer. So we talked to a farmer that lives a half an hour away from here that we're gonna have what we call summer sheep. Basically, you get them to live at your property for a few months, so you can try it out and see how it feels. So that's something I'm very much looking forward to.
Me too.
We've talked about sheep and goats and stuff like that for a long time. But now we can actually try it out before we invest and do something like that ourselves.
Yeah. And yeah, I would love a lot of animals, like chickens we're talking about. I would love having horses one time again. Yeah, I will talk about goats. Also because I would love to make kefir and stuff like that. So yeah, a
lot of plants, at least.
We will love more animals.
Yeah. Do you want to show your son's face on the internet until a certain age, or until he decides to stop it himself? What do you say? We said that this is a super tricky thing.
Such a tricky question.
Right now, I don't mind it. It was very hard to show it for the first time, I felt like, because it was such a new thing. But I don't feel a hard time now. But we had this agreement, me and Christine, that we always, if we take a photo or a little clip or something for YouTube or Instagram or whatever, we always have to check with the other one to like, does this feel okay? We're never gonna involve him in anything pushy. Does that make sense? Like, he's part of his family as much as Tuss and Alice are dogs. He's not the main character at all. He's part of our family, of course. Hey, you're a big part of the family. But he is not the one that's like the important thing for the content. That's not,
Yeah, it's not what it's gonna be about.
No.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I have such a, I'm really enjoying watching people, family, and with their children and stuff. But I think it's such a fine balance today. I never think, from my perspective, people do what they want to do. But from my perspective, I would never try not to use my kids as a something for my business or content and something. I just want him to be a natural part of it. And if I suddenly feel this is not right, then we gotta stop it.
Yeah. The hardest thing, the biggest problem I have with people like that, if I'm putting them in one compartment, is that people that does that also include their kids in their advertisements and like try to earn money that way, because they know that kids and like the family thing or that kind of niche creates a lot of money. But for me, it would feel so weird to include him in an advertisement and earn money on him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's not like specifically baby clothing that we really enjoy, that's something else.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
Yeah, it's
because I do follow people online that have wonderful ways of doing it, and I'm enjoying their content. So. Yeah,
we'll see. That's the short answer. How did you decide when you were ready to start a family? My short answer is I don't think anyone is ever ready. We thought, maybe we have to do this first before starting a family. We have to get our finances up and running first. But like, we're equally panicking about our finances now as we did 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's ever there is more optimal timings, I would say.
To be honest, a part of we also started a family is also an age thing.
That's true.
That we just have to, because, of course you can get kids in your 40s and stuff like that. But I didn't want to be too old mom.
No.
So that was also why we start in the beginning of our 30s.
Yeah.
And again, thank God we did that. Because with all these miscarriages, it took several years.
Yeah. For you who don't know, you had 3 miscarriages before he came. So it was a long process.
Yeah.
And you never know. Like, it could have worked right away, but it was nice that we started that early because it took several years.
Yeah. So that is part of it.
Yeah. Do you think there are any disadvantages to raising a kid in the countryside?
That could only be that you are far away from, activities, or that the friends can live far away as well. I can say so much good stuff about it.
Exactly.
But I feel that is kind of, we are far away from family, friends, activities.
Yeah. But I don't see, of course, the distance is a bit of a thing, but since we run our own businesses, we have the flexibility to go whenever we want. So like on the Mondays right now, we're going on baby swimming with him. It's like 11 in the what do you call it? Förmiddag? Yeah, 11 in the morning before lunch. So we go baby swimming, and that's a half an hour to drive in and half an hour home. And we need to be there like half an hour before to get him changed, and then half an hour to an hour afterwards. So half the day disappears with just half an hour of baby swimming. But it's so worth it to see. It's so cozy.
It's so cozy.
That's the highlight of my week, I can say. So. Are there plans to enlarge the cabin so there are bedrooms for children? We kind of already talked about this, but the enlargement of the cabin is not going to be for kids. First of all, it's going to be a bathroom. We actually had a carpenter here yesterday. Right?
Oh, we have so much to do this week. So
Was it yesterday?
No, it was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay.
Yeah.
He was here, and we made a sketch of what we would like it to be, how big we need it to be, so we can fit a shower, a bathtub, washing machine. So we're planning to build out that way. So that's the plan. What are some childhood traditions in Danish and in Swedish cultures you hope to carry on with your son?
Something that I'm missing here in Sweden is fastelavn.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
true.
very disappointed about that.
Yeah.
Fastelavn is where it's not Halloween. You have costumes on, but it's not scary. It's like happy costume. You could be an cupboard or whatever. You could be, And then it's also about that you go from house to house and ask for candy, but it's more like a big party in the street feeling. And
it wouldn't be so many houses to go knock on around here though, but
we could do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very, very festival feeling, and it's so cozy, I feel.
We have a bit the same in the spring around Easter. I don't know if that's a Swedish tradition. When you dress up as a witch, and then you go trick-or-treating, basically, asking for candy. And
Okay, you don't do that in Denmark.
Okay, so every spring we do that.
Yeah.
But then you're specifically a witch.
Okay.
With like a little shale around your head, and you go with your staff, and with the staff, do you call it? The broom, that you can fly on.
The funniest thing is like our midsummer parties is so different from Denmark to Sweden.
Very.
Really funny. Like in Denmark we have a big bonfire, and then we take, I don't know why we do that, because in old days
It's so horrible.
It's so horrible. You burn witches, which was just
Alternative women.
Actually, alternative women. So it's horrible. And today you build a witch, like a doll, and then you burn the doll and the big bonfire and sing songs and look at that.
Yeah.
So it's really fun.
Yeah.
Where in your case you build a
big dick, basically. That.
I didn't want to say that.
It is what it is. It's a big stick in the middle of the ground with a lot of flowers on it that represent male genitalia, basically.
Yeah. And then
we dance around it and sing songs and eat and drink.
Yeah.
So it's a very happy occasion.
Yeah, you're way more happy. I like that.
Yeah.
Rather dance around the dick than burn witches.
But fastelavns, isn't that where you eat the fastelavns?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the biggest part of it for me, because you get these like pastries, like super, super good. Super. Hey.
Scary boobs and
Do you speak Danish or Swedish to the baby? Are the languages similar? I speak Swedish to him, and Christine talk Danish, and Christine and I talk mostly English to each other.
Not because we don't understand each other, because we do now.
Yeah, no problems at all. The first time we ever had a phone call, because we met online, we said that like, let's take it in Danish and Swedish and we'll try it. And she's, you said hello and something else. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't understand a single word. But since then we just done English. But I understand Danish fluently, and you understand my Swedish fluently.
So why are we not talking that? Because it is really nice to keep going with the English. Otherwise it feels so unnatural.
Yeah, when we're filming.
To put up the camera, yeah.
Yeah, now we're just hitting record and talking like we always do.
Yeah.
But I would say that it's becoming more Swedish and Danish than it was just a year ago, 2 years ago.
Way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even notice it anymore. Like now it's just 3 languages tied together.
Yeah.
So I can hear when you have spoken to your family or just, on the phone or something, I can hear you just on Danish for a while until you get back into the English.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, he's going to have basically 3 languages quite early. To answer that question, yes, they're quite similar in language, but I would say Swedish and Norwegian are closer, and I would say Danish and Norwegian are also closer somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Which doesn't really make any sense. But how did you manage anxiety and fear around pregnancy after the miscarriages?
I talked a lot about it. I tried not to keep it in. So don't you think I talked a lot with you about it?
Yeah, and we talked with friends and family.
A lot what I felt. And I listening to podcasts or read blogs about other people other women that go through the same. Yeah. So that was a lot that.
Talking about it out loud does a lot.
Don't keep it in.
No, and that's also why we've done videos about both the miscarriages, about his.
Do you want it back?
But that's also why we've done videos about the miscarriages, about his complicated birth, because it's a bit of therapy for us as well. Because when we get comments back saying like, oh, we have the same experience, we went through this and that, it's so much easier to process it somehow, because you feel that other people have been through the same thing, and we hope that maybe other can find some kind of comfort if they hear our story.
That's definitely why I had done those videos, is because I feel it helped me when I felt alone with it. Yeah. So I want to do that for others, to be honest about what I've been going through. So I
personally hadn't read up on it so much, but I knew there was a big risk for everyone. It's like 20 or 25% on the first birth or something. But no one had really prepared us for what it would be like. And that was quite scary. But I think you handled it really good by talking to others and didn't just put a lid on it and ignored it, but actually talked about it.
And also, I listened to a podcast with a doctor that have been in Denmark. They have been have made a lot of research in Denmark about miscarriages, and they actually talked about. Oh my god! Actually talked about that. Women that have experienced several of miscarriage have a higher tendency to experience depression. So it was really important for me to not get in that category and get it out, because I know the more you keep it in, it will pop out in some kind of a way. So it was really important to me to get it out, talk about it, processing it. So.
How are Christine feeling now after pregnancy?
I feel wonderful. I feel tired right now because we have had a bit of rough period. He has developed a bit of eczema, and I don't want any good advice because I have talked with thousands of people.
You're gonna get it either way. Yeah.
So we are working on it, but that have made the nights rough. Otherwise, I feel amazing. I'm happy to be a mom. Yeah. And he's such a good, wonderful baby.
Yeah, he's so good. Any self-care tips to get through the winter months? For me, it's about getting out in the middle of the day when the sun is actually out.
Which we haven't.
No, but exactly. We felt, you said it to me before we recorded this, like, I haven't been out. No. And you can feel that, both in our moods and... fresh air, a bit of sunlight in your face. Yeah, it does a lot.
Actually, I've been thinking about, I'm gonna make a whole video about it on my channel, because it's such I'm so interested in how we naturally worked with the winter in old days, because winter depression is actually, is something that's, we talk very much about here in the modern time. And I'm gonna do more about that subject, because there's a lot of things you could do so the winter doesn't feel so tough.
No, but for me personally, I don't think the darkness is a problem for me.
No, but for some it is.
Yeah, I know, but for me it's not like depressing or anything. It's super beautiful because when it goes dark, the sky lights up and it's super beautiful. And when I walk the dogs in the dark, I just have a headlamp on. I think it's super cozy.
But you do a lot of this stuff because you've been living with me,
maybe.
You do a lot of those stuff that make you feel easier with winter, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When I moved here alone for the first time, I was afraid of the dark. Then I had to have every light on, and I was super scared to be here alone.
Yeah.
But
Wait. It's just that.
Okay, good. But now that's actually one of the things I really developed moving here. I can walk around in complete darkness without any light on and actually navigate very well.
Yeah. You're bored. I know.
I'm so sorry. Now we're happy again. But short answer, yes. Christine will do a video apparently on your channel.
Yeah.
About darkness.
Yeah. Not darkness. Winter.
No, but winter. What are your favorite things to do together as a new family? Baby swimming, exactly. That was the first thing I thought about as well.
But it is really cozy.
It's super cozy.
And
Just see him like...
Yeah, and we eat lunch afterwards.
It's so good.
It's like a date.
And meet other parents, hang out with them a bit.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Does YouTube and social media feel like a hustle as a job? It's a different thing when you're a family and you have to adjust to him, of course. He's super easy to be around when we're filming as well, but it's, of course, adds another complicated factor.
I don't think it's special social media. I think as soon you're self-employed and everything is on your shoulders, like you could be entrepreneur or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be social media. That's
no.
True. No.
It's a lot of work because you are the one driving it, you know.
But even if I can feel like it's a hustle sometimes and you have to push through, every job has to do that. And it's the best job I've ever had. And I love to work for my own company. You do too. But no one has a job that you can't complain about. I mean, everyone has complaints about everything.
Yeah. I don't know. We love this job.
Yeah,
we love our job.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
But yeah, of course, it's a lot of work. So if you don't love this, you shouldn't do it.
Like we joked about, we went from quitting our 9 to 5s and now we're working 24/7 instead. That's the standing joke, basically.
Yeah. I don't want to sit down anymore.
I'm such an active boy. Nice.
Move. He's smiling.
Yeah, yes. Have you planned to do more videos on Patreon, Kalle? This is releasing on Sunday. That means I released a new Patreon video yesterday. So you can go and check out. I'll link it here on screen so you can see what it's about as well. Is it possible to make a living through social media just by being consistent? Yes, but I don't know exactly. I think our key has been to diversify our income, because if we just rely on YouTube, that will be too vulnerable. Like 1 month can be really good on YouTube, and this is our full-time job. And like last month I earned $600 on YouTube before Swedish taxes. And that's not possible to just live on those $600 for us. But you have different sources.
Du är så trött.
You also have different sources of income. You have YouTube.
I don't earn anything on YouTube.
No, but you have it as a possible income, and you earn your clients through YouTube and Instagram, I would say. They discover you through YouTube.
Yeah, I would say that I don't earn money on YouTube.
No, but I don't think that it's all social media necessarily need to bring an income directly. I just mean that could be, they see a video of you working as a hormone therapist. Oh, okay, I go sign up to either be your client or join your woman circle. There's a link to all of those down in the description, by the way.
Where I'm earning my money is clients and Women's Circle for sure. Women's Circle is active, so if you want to be part of that,
join.
You're so welcome.
You're having a live stream today when this video is going out.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a really special live stream. it's more of I'm gonna do a cacao ceremony where we also chose like a mushroom to support the ceremony, and then it's gonna be way more of a deep dive into yourself, like in kind of I'm gonna guide them through like a really, I think, a beautiful meditation type. It's gonna be a bit different of on a whole hour. But typical of those live stream, it could be something like that. Sometimes we have been reading a book, we discuss, or we just meet up and discuss something and talk and just hang out.
Yeah.
So it's very cozy.
Yeah, it's very different each time as well.
Yeah.
So, and you do it all digitally on your Woman Circle
Zoom.
and on Zoom, exactly. So no matter what you're living, you can
Part
join
of
in.
it, yeah.
What advice would you give yourself if you could go back in time to before you made the move? To myself, I would say, Kalle, buy something with the bathroom. So no, but you know what I mean.
I just that would really be stupid because
Yeah.
you needed an off-grid
absolutely.
cabin.
Absolutely.
You need to survive in the wilderness. Like that was really what you needed back then.
I needed to heal some really tough shit I was going through, and I needed to push myself to the limit, I think. That's a good point.
Yeah. And again, those 2 years I've been living here full time, I needed that too.
Yeah.
I needed to also, go
Cleanse.
completely back to basic. That was amazing.
Yeah. But advice, it's easy to say like, oh, I wish I could have done it sooner, but it happened when it happened. My biggest advice would probably be to myself, at least, that like, dare to try the things that you have in your mind, and that it's okay to fail, and failing is at least trying. Like we're so caught up on this idea of like failing is something negative, something that people look down on and so on. But I think it's something that actually is so important for us. I think it's important that we try something, and if we fail, we learn something from it and maybe take a step in another direction or just try it again. So I would say fail more if I would speak to my own self.
Yeah. I was just thinking like no matter what we do in life, also about that question before about can you earn money on social media. It's like if things are coming from a point of I just need to earn money or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything should come from the heart.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna flow somehow. That is my experience in life. So it is, if your heart is longing for going, live in a cabin, you will find your way somehow.
Exactly.
It's the same like if you just want to go on social media to just earn money, that for me that is a bit the wrong energy to go with.
Yeah, I agree. We do social media because it's super creative. We love capturing these stories. It's not, of course, we can only do this since we're earning money on it. But that's not why I started filming or taking photos. I did that for years before I started earning money. I just randomly stumbled upon I can earn money on it.
Yeah.
So as you said, I did it out of passion, and you did as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but also just moving here, it was because, the heart was longing for it. So it was not like, we were not thinking like, it could be a good idea to move to a cabin and then start a YouTube channel because that will earn us some, that was not how we thought. It was the heart singing for something, and we followed that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet? This was also a question that came from a lot of people, and we have actually made a video. Was it last year? I think, or maybe 2 years ago even. We have it on here on my channel. I can link it down in the description. It's a whole video just based on how we met, basically. So you can check that out. If you would manifest a new friendship, what traits would you wish that person has, or what would you want that friendship to bring you into your life? That's a good question.
I feel I have already started a lot with that.
Okay.
In a way, I begin to attract some really wonderful women into my life, and I actually think a bit when I attracted you, the things I begin to develop in myself, like something I appreciate in myself, like I appreciate very much women that are very honest, not gossiping. I appreciate very much women that is like very grounded in themselves, and having some interest, a bit nerds like I am, have some interest yeah, like where we can have some deeper conversation and just, there's this, again, nothing wrong if that is what people want to, but there's some women that meet up to have like a dinner and gossip, where I feel very uncomfortable in stuff like that. I rather meet up and
sit in knitting.
Yeah. like talk about real stuff going on inside of us, and trying to do something creative together, or learn skills from each other, stuff like that. And I feel that is that kind of women that slowly begin to come into my life as well.
It's like that famous saying, you are who you surround yourself with, basically. And I think that's very true. If you surround yourself with people that just push for a hard career and want to earn a lot of money, or go out partying every weekend or something, you're going to be drawn more to becoming a person like that. And we have really been intentional with the people we have around us. This sounds very like snobbish, I guess, but we're very picky with people we hang out with on a daily basis.
It's not snobbish, because I have experienced some horrible stuff in my future, in my past. I know how it can. I don't know how to say that in a nice way. Fucked up. That's not the way you should say it. But how it can destroy your life if you have the wrong people in it.
We need people that we can trust completely, no matter what happens. I know that all the friends I hang out with today, I could call them if something happens. I can call them and they will show up immediately, even if it's a small or big thing. They will be there and they will have our backs. So trust is a big thing for me.
I remember our good friend Tove and Mathias. I think most of us, most of you guys know Talisman on YouTube. Mathias sent me like a picture on his stories. I can't remember where it stood like, you have the right kind of people, something like that, if they are talking nice about you when you're not in the room or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good
They're
point.
protecting you, take your back or something when you're not in the room.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And that's very much Tove and Mathias, I would say.
Yeah.
What are something you, Christine, and you, Kalle, want to do different from your own childhood? And what are something you want to bring forward from your own childhood?
Wow, it's deep and good questions, but yeah, wow.
I spoke a bit earlier about what I want to do similar, like the playfulness with him, going on adventures, be there for him. Because the reason we got kids is to be with the kids.
Yeah.
That's why we're choosing to have him at home as long as we possibly can. So I think that's a thing. My mom didn't put me in any kindergarten or anything. I was at home with her until I was, is it 6 or 7 you start school? And that was a big sacrifice for her to do. She worked at the same time but still had me, and it was, that was super impressive. And I want to do the same with him. For both, so we both can give that to him.
Something that's I thought about with my family is like, I can always trust my parents to pick up the phone when I call them. Yeah. My mom has always sit down, also my dad, always sit down and listening to what I have to say. Like, I remember like when she come home from a long day of work and I really need to talk. She took me for a walk and I talk for hours and she just listening.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'm very appreciating for my family. Something my mom had talked about, if she could have done something differently. It's definitely that we were so much in kindergarten and stuff like that. Like I already, and that is even late for Americans. I know that I got to already got to kindergarten when I was 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And she would love to keep us more home. Yeah. So that's what I want to do different with my little son.
This is probably, I don't know if you can answer this. This is not a short answer, but maybe you'll answer it yourself. How did Christine cure her fertility issues through holistic ways, and how living a homestead life has brought pros and cons to fertility, mamahood, being a homemaker, etc.?
Oh my God.
Answer, please.
I have a whole woman circle about this. Yeah. It's not a simple answer because I had done a lot of steps. if I should just give some really quick ones, food is a very important part of it. I was very much on what could boost my fertility food. You can find that in my women's circle. That would be very long to sit and talk about. Stress is so important, and that could be, the everyday kind of stress. Like women physiology is very much about feeling safe, and we are designed to feel our environment. Is this an environment that is safe to have kids? I know we're not thinking about that, but that is what we biological have inside of us. And that was also one of the reasons I actually moved away from the cabin, not because I feel it's unsafe, but we had so many fires, you could say like that, going on.
Not literal fires,
but like I didn't really trust the water source back then. I was afraid that would make me sick because it changed so much after they cut a lot of forest.
Yeah, we drank from for the first 5 years. I drank from the pond or the creek that coming down from the mountain.
But something happened after they cut some forest up there.
Yeah, I still drank from it, but now we have our own water source. But it is a stress for you, absolutely.
Yeah, it was just, there was a lot of stressors for me in this cabin that where I was not really I can't find the
really
words.
at peace and relaxed.
I couldn't really, like, to my core, relaxing. And that is a big, big red flag when you want to make kids.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stress on the body.
You were also on me. Fertility is, of course, not only
no.
No.
No, I have to say that it's actually shown.
Hi, dude. Hey, come please.
It's actually shown that that man's sperm quality is declining through that.
I thought I would never sit in front of a camera in front of hundreds of thousands of people and talk sperm quality. Yeah, sperm quality.
But it's declining a lot, so it's actually a lot of the times actually the man. Oh, it's hard to find the English words for it.
I know.
So I put you on a lot of food and supplements and
it was not a bad thing at all. It was just good stuff and healthy stuff, and I really enjoyed it. So it was not like a sacrifice or anything like that.
So I'm gonna do that next time again. When we.
I see when she starts showing up with different pills and different diets. I was like, okay, now I know what's going on.
No, and I would definitely recommend you to, if you had, already now track your cycle. If there are problems in your cycle, there will maybe also be problems becoming pregnant and have a good pregnancy.
That's the short answer.
Yeah.
If you want to know more, check out her women's circle. They're having a live stream tonight, basically, with the cacao ceremony.
Yeah.
There's a link down in the description.
And you can ask me questions in the women's circle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it. Thank you so much for watching. And again, check out the women's circle. Check out my Patreon if you want to support us going forward. Otherwise, I will leave the links to the other videos we talked about, like how we met and other stuff down in the description.
And then I hope next time we see each other is for our new series.
Yes, it's called Our Journey Home.
Yeah.
So you can keep an eye on that.
And we're gonna look so much forward to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to share with you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.